and welcome to a new episode of the Game Informer Show. I'm your host, Ben Hanson, joined as always by Tim Turi down at the end there.
Hello!
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, hey, thanks.
But not just us, everybody.
No, there's more.
It's expanding, ever expanding. We have Andrew Reiner.
Yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt I've worn in like 4 episodes of Replay in a row.
Yeah,
It's not like we recorded them all in one day. I just haven't taken this off in 2 weeks.
You look like you're in the witness protection program with like a hat with no details, a shirt with no letters or numbers.
You think you would give him details, though?
Oh, to try and like...
Yeah, it's like, clearly that guy is up to no good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or he's like, yeah, in witness protection.
And to be very specific to things that you aren't. You'd have a hat that said like world's #1 grandma, stuff like that.
Right.
Or just had the word nondescript on it.
Kyle Hilliard.
Hey, we didn't expand because you got rid of 2 people and brought 2 people in, so we just stayed the same.
You got it, man. Either way, welcome to the Game Informer Show. God, you're the Ben Reeves of this podcast.
I've always wanted to be the Ben Reeves of this podcast.
It's a compliment. I think.
So what we're doing here, this is going to be a 1-section podcast, which it's been a while since we've done one of these, but the idea is we're at the end of the year. We got a whole new big frontier of 2016 games in front of us, right? And so we're running down our top 5 most anticipated games that are theoretically coming out in the year 2016. We're going to go around the horn, kind of like the E3 episode, if you remember that, where we gave like the top 5 most exciting things. Kyle, you hung out in that hotel room with us doing that.
I was there. Yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to be doing that again, except with the biggest releases coming up, just to give you an idea of the roadmap ahead. You guys
That
ready?
sounds fantastic.
What if we all have the exact same picks?
Don't worry about it.
If we have the exact same
work
list,
out.
then it'll be completely flawless.
It will be, yeah.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Tim, give me your number 5, sir.
Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
That's mine
Great
too.
choice.
No, it's not.
It's a 3DS game that is fusing Paper Mario with the Mario and Luigi series, which is fantastic because that is where the heart of Super Mario RPG, that fantastic SNES game, has gone on to live in those 2 franchises. It's got like the button time presses that you want to hit right when you jump on their heads so that like you're feeling more involved, and you also dodge the same way, and it's also got this great sense of humor, and they're finally fusing. That's great.
But everybody was pretty lukewarm on Dream Team.
That's fine. The rest are great. So what does that mean? Like one not amazing, one still good, fun, charming game is not as good as the rest of the really fun, really charming games. So that does not temper my enthusiasm.
The last Paper Mario, though, also did that weird thing where it tied your attacks to inventory, like
so
stickers that you had
frustrating.
to
But
find?
this isn't Sticker Star.
Okay, but they're removing that aspect of the game.
Look at it's joining.
That's a
It's
big-
Mario and Luigi first.
Do you want to pick a different number 5?
No, I'm excited
this
to
is
defend
great.
this. It's Mario and Luigi first, which has always had the RPG mechanics.
Yes, I like that
Paper
series.
Mario second, and also I've played it.
It's being developed by the Alpha Dream team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the
like
team
the big-
behind Dream Team. They're called Alpha Dream.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, I'm excited for that game too, but that's a big thing for me. Is like I don't want that inventory.
It doesn't have
system.
that.
There's no
It
way it's
doesn't.
going to have
I
that.
played it. It
Then
doesn't.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
no way.
about that.
Also, what's most exciting about this game, this is actually on my ref list. Didn't make the top 5, but the fact that it comes out in a couple weeks. It comes out January 22nd.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just really coming
I
up
can't wait.
fast. Yeah, it's good. It's a hell of a name too. I'm really excited
Paper Jam,
about that.
it's fantastic.
Reiner, number 5, sir.
Mine's better.
Oh,
I picked Deus Ex.
Mankind Revolution.
Mankind Divided?
Yeah, it is Mankind Revolution.
Again?
Yeah.
Love the first one. Obviously, I guess you call it the first one, but the reboot or whatever.
Right.
Had some terrible boss battles, but some really clever RPG and stealth mechanics. And them making a sequel, being able to elevate all those levels. I saw it at E3, and it looked absolutely stunning. Just the fusion of combat, stealth, and just kind of hacking. That's kind of, what do you call it? Futuristic, cybernetic kind of crap.
I remember
Looked
you.
great.
I remember you being lukewarm on that last one.
I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Did you really? I remember you complaining about a flashlight a lot.
Yeah.
I remember there were a lot of nitty gritty complaints along the way.
There
with
was
that
a
game.
flashlight,
Boss
and then
battles,
like
right?
you fueled up your batteries by eating chocolate or something, or energy bars.
delicious.
But that doesn't make
How do you recharge your batteries when you go home?
I'm flesh and blood. I'm not like a robot guy.
Is that a new Skittles flavor?
Protein and stuff.
But anyway, that game looks fantastic. What I saw at E3, visually stunning, and the gameplay, the scenarios they showed us, holy cow. I can't wait to dive into that game.
Right. And you enjoyed Thief, right? It's coming out of the same
Yep.
studio?
Yeah, I was one of the few people in the world that actually liked the Thief.
I enjoyed when I played a Thief.
Good. Well, we're close
Here we
to each
go.
other right now.
Solid choice. I always forget about Deus Ex. I mean, it's been delayed several times along the way. Had that whole pre-order kerfluffle where people are upset about that. But it
They
seems like
undid
that's
that?
all. Yeah. It's a clear road to that game's release.
All cybernetic roses from here on in.
Kyle Hilliard, what do you got, man?
I wrote down Crackdown 3.
Was it a typo?
No,
okay.
So I love the original Crackdown dearly, like to the point where I still put that game in every couple of months and kind of run around the city. And
I love that it infected the Halo fans.
I know,
because that's how you found it, right?
Well, no, I mean I was excited about it just because I liked GTA and superheroes and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I was very excited to buy that game and also get the Halo 3 beta. Is that? Yeah. And I actually, despite what all I'm saying about how much I love the original Crackdown, I didn't play 2 because the negative reception was so bad. And I like the idea that it's been displaced for a long period of time now. They've had time to reflect on what didn't work about 2, and hopefully they can look back at 1 and see what's good. And I'm excited to see more of it. I feel like it got announced and then they just disappeared, and now they've just been working on it with their heads down.
Hey Kyle, let me know how that game is.
No, I will do.
Because I'm not going to buy it until you play it.
Yeah, the last demo that they showed, they had kind of a little video that they showed at Gamescom last year, the year before, and that's what actually got me really excited about it. Just seeing the destructible environments and having that in multiplayer.
Well, I know you like Red Faction a lot.
I love Red Faction, yeah, for sure. And I would love to play a multiplayer game where skyscrapers are just crumbling down around you. And you're in complete control of all that. But I've never played a Crackdown game.
They're fun.
That's what I keep hearing about. Yeah.
Don't go back.
I've never played one either.
The first one was great, but I don't think that's going to age super well.
Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, but
fingers are crossed that this game's coming to PC as well. Or maybe I'll own an Xbox One by the time that comes out.
Or you can buy the 360 version of it.
Yeah, that's
going to
true.
exist for Crackdown 3.
What do you got, Ben?
Oh, yeah, me.
Number
I was about to
5.
go back to
Yeah,
you, Tim.
little you.
Number 5 for me is a game coming out in mysterious, nebulous Q1 of 2016, and that is Blizzard's Overwatch. We've talked about it a lot on this show. I still have a lot of fun with that game every time I play it, but I really want to play it with friends and get private matches set up, get a big group of friends, and just have a dedicated 2v2, 3v3, that type of thing.
Is it hitting PS4 in Q1 as well?
I believe so, yeah. And Xbox One.
We're playing on Xbox One, right? That was kind of the pact we
to keep Ben out.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a PS4 guy.
Yeah, Reiner, what's going on? You still, if you have a choice, you go Xbox One because of achievements?
Achievements, and a lot of my friends are still there.
Really?
Those are
Yeah,
good.
so they carried over from 360 to Xbox One, and they're devout Xbox. I'm not devout Xbox. I play a lot of PS4.
Right.
And I would say there's a good 30% that's over on PS4 now. So maybe PS5, we'll see if they're all over, or who knows.
They're pretty much the same machine, save for the UI.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. As far as office people, I'm trying to think of the predominant Xbox One people versus the predominant PS4. It seems like Xbox One, it's mainly you, a little bit Kyle.
Yeah, I like Xbox One. I use it a lot for multimedia, but I go back and forth.
You go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Go both ways.
yeah, Overwatch, I can't wait to play it. I'll probably get it on PS4 just so I don't have to compete with the mouse and keyboard junkies there. That'll be really nice to actually have a more dedicated console audience.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Morons to play it with, I think is what I'm going
Correct.
for. What is your number 4, Tim?
Number 4 is, guys, there's a new Team Eco game coming out next year, and it's called The Last Guardian. And that's fantastic news because that studio is 2 for 2, and I would like to see them make a hat trick here.
But imagine your excitement if this was...
I love it.
If this was 2008, realistically, and it was coming out, how much does your excitement dissipate because of the incredibly long delay?
I played the original Eco after I played Shadow of the Colossus. I thought that game that was years old by then was still great because of its simplicity. So if they had that sort of, ahead of their time design in place with Last Guardian and its puzzles and its world and the character interactions, then we're good. I think you could pick up Eco right now and play the HD PS3 version or whatever, and it would still be a fantastic game.
I agree, but the idea of having a troubled development doesn't bother you. Forget if the design sensibilities are old.
I guess yes, but it's a pretty what I'm trying to say. This is a proven developer in a lot of ways. I know that innocent until proven guilty in the case of Team Eco for me. I get where the hesitation comes from, but I don't have any reason on its face from what I've seen and seen of the game played to be super worried right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have total faith in that game, but I will admit that my excitement has diminished over the years. I remember seeing that first trailer, I was just running around the house with my arms flying in the air. But I am super
5.
excited. Yeah, I was 5 years old. I am still super excited about that game. For sure, and I'm not what you're mentioning about trouble development. I don't think that's going to affect the quality of the game ultimately.
Hope not.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It just needs to come out. I'll be super excited the day it's out again, but it's I've been excited for so long. It's
Right,
just dragging it on. Like, come on,
Yeah,
come out already.
It's also my number 4, Tim. We synced up, which is crazy since like Shadow of the Colossus is like my favorite game of all time. To think like that studio's next game, it's only number 4 on my list. It seems disjointed, but there's the combination of the treble development with a little bit, it seems like going back to more puzzly eco roots. And like I like eco, I respect the hell out of it, but I don't know if I'd be excited to play eco
those
again.
Colossi
You know?
were just puzzles. I mean, like they're big puzzles.
Yeah, but they're
Platforming
exciting.
puzzles.
They're exciting puzzles. You know, there's an action element roped into that. But if it's just a matter of like, hey, I got to lower this drawbridge, try and figure out which jar to break in the right order.
What we
it's
saw
like,
of Last Guardian was pretty action packed.
Yeah,
I'm
falling and all that.
I'm incredibly curious about it. So
Yeah.
it's a good number 4 for me too. But Reiner, where are you at for number 4?
Number 4 is Dishonored, and that's because it was alphabetically the next game.
I have really good news, Reiner. That game came out 3 years ago.
Dishonored 2. It has a sequel coming out.
Oh my!
And it looks super cool. You get to play as 2 different pro tags now. And
Do we know how that
call them
works?
now
Are you
protags?
choosing?
we don't know. One of them
Okay.
has like weird venom smoke powers.
Have they shown gameplay, or has it just been
Nope,
like CGI?
just that one E3 tease was enough for me to just drool. Like I was like, that first game was so much fun. And again, being able to pick your path. That's a common theme with me. Is you could play it stealth or you could go full balls to the wall action.
I'm praying they go like either perpetual open world or just I don't want it broken into chapters. Like that was my main complaint with that
Yeah,
game.
the sailing on that boat. Remember
Yeah.
that? That was terrible.
It just
Just
disjointed.
hang out with that guy.
I liked that world, and I love to see it a little bit more seamless.
yeah, I agree.
I'm super excited to see more of that world. Like I remember the cover story trip. One of the most interesting parts was them just talking about the world outside of Dunwall.
Yeah, and
they
like
had
the whaling operations and all that stuff.
They showed us a map of like this completely undiscovered continent where they're like, yeah, there could be dinosaurs there. Who knows? Like there's a lot to that world that they have mapped out lore wise that they haven't even begun to show. So I'm hoping that Dishonored 2 kind of taps into that.
But yeah, that game can't come soon enough. And they announced it was like a spring release. That can't happen, right? Like
I'd be
they have
shocked.
not. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
When did Dishonored come out? Was that 2000?
It's 2012.
2012? Okay.
Yeah, it was that
So
whole batch.
Alright.
development timeline it lines up, but you'd think we'd seen this game by now.
But
Like you
again-
guys said, you didn't see actual footage. It was like a tease.
But it's Bethesda these days, baby. They announced the game next week's
That's
coming out.
true.
Who can
Yeah.
say? They're out of control, those fellas. Kyle,
What, 4, right? I have Final Fantasy 15.
is that a typo?
No, I like Final Fantasy.
Did you play episode Duske?
No. But
No,
I
Deska Fiasca.
I watched a lot of it be played.
Yeah.
And the thing is like I'm not even a Final Fantasy fan, which is why I think I'm more excited about it. I love the idea of like a road trip video game. That just seems so fascinating to me. I don't know. You guys are giving me these looks like you're not interested in the
I
game.
don't know.
But
I played
I think it
Duske.
looks really cool. And it didn't do anything for you?
It made me less excited for 15.
Yeah. I also I've never liked turn-based, so like maybe I've never like finished a Final Fantasy. I've played lots of Final Fantasy, never finished one because I just get bored with the turn-based. So like I like the idea of going in a more action direction, this sort of open world where you get this like road trip element to it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I want to try it. I want to give it a shot.
Awesome.
I think it's a fine pick, but your reasons for picking it worry me.
Because I like the idea of a road trip
A
game.
road trip game.
I'm totally with Kyle. I love Final Fantasy, and I'm mainly excited
if
for it
you-
just for
just
that
them-
weird
let's talk
concept.
Driving and talking and going to
Ico
the
is a
bathroom
road
at a
trip game.
gas station? Like, what
I
do
mean,
you
if you
want?
look at Ico, that's like a road trip game. It's like you and Yorda working your
Now,
way through this
you-
journey together.
did you-
Enslaved, Prince of Persia
Did you play
2008. These are all like
Resistance
road
3?
trip games that I love. No, I didn't play that game.
Resistance 3 was pitched as a road trip game. I guess, yeah, Last of Us. You should play that. But
Yeah, Last of Us.
Resistance
Yeah.
3 is a fun
Not
co-op
a road
game.
trip.
Yeah, totally. Underrated.
Road trip in Final Fantasy 15, when you think of it that way, is they're actually in a car just driving across the country. That's
know,
what you
countryside
That's like
looks
you
cool.
and I playing.
Get
What was
out
that?
of the highway.
GTA 5?
The Crew.
Oh,
We drove all the way across the country. We actually did it.
Then you can get out and fight monsters.
Looking for adventure.
I was searching on my phone for that song, and I wasn't going to start playing. And it really was. It totally goes behind everything I think of Final Fantasy
Kyle's
15.
gonna really make it happen.
Steppenwolf's the reason I'm excited about Final Fantasy 15 as well.
Wind
Okay.
blowing in his
Thanks
red
for being on my
hair.
team.
Kyle, when was the last time you went on a real road trip? Last time you headed it out on the
I guess when
highway.
I drove up here for the job in 2011, I think. Yeah.
Pregnant wife by your side.
Yeah. Well, in the back, we rented an RV.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
An RV?
Yeah, so we could bring pregnant wife.
Mild.
Correct. You want me to go into that for a while?
Yeah, why'd you rent an RV?
Because my wife was 8 months pregnant and we had
So
two
lean the
cats.
seat back.
Oh yeah, that's how it works.
So what was she doing back there? Sitting in a bathtub?
She was laying on a bed, relaxing.
Ben?
Once again, I'm worried about your reasons for doing things.
It worked. It was perfect. We got 2 cats. They were totally comfortable. My wife was comfortable.
You picked up more cats along the way.
That sounds really fun.
Nothing but cats.
That sounds really
Full
fun.
of cats. It was a great idea.
Just more
It worked
cats.
really well.
Gave birth to a cat.
Ryan, remember when we went on that road trip down to Volition in Chicago to see
Yeah,
Saints
and
Row 3?
you guys are playing, what was it, Zelda 2 on a GameCube in my backseat.
Right.
Well, no, you were in the front seat
Listening to podcasts, pretending you guys didn't exist. Yeah.
pretending
That sounds-
I didn't exist. So Dan Reichert and I can't remember who else
Jeff
was.
Cork.
Jeff Cork were in the backseat playing a game, socializing, having fun. I'm driving the whole time. The guy I'm supposed to be talking to has headphones in.
You know your job is to keep the driver entertained and awake.
I try
right?
every once in a while.
Man, the Ben Hanson travel experience has not changed in years.
Well, here's the number one fatal flaw of that road trip outside of Zelda 2 is we get into Reiner's car, we're like, head out on the highway, and then Reiner's like, I got a tune for you guys to kick back and enjoy. And then he popped in his own band CD.
You started it off with that?
Yes, immediately. That's why I put in the headphones. I couldn't take
That
it.
was out of respect that I just played one song and then you didn't have to hear it ever again.
Right.
Well, there you
Now
go.
imagine all this, but you guys are like dressed like Final Fantasy characters.
Oh, that's pretty good. Black leather, sewing some shoulders.
Too many belts.
That's right.
And you know what? I played that song and they didn't buy my CD.
Oh, you're like checking the sales, like waiting refresh, waiting to see our Amazon
like
history.
while he was driving.
Gas station, checking my phone.
Damn it. All
Nothing.
right. Number 4, Last Guardian for me. Tim, what's number 3?
Number 3 is Dark Souls 3.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
that's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I'm prepared to die in 2016.
Oh, boy.
I hope I don't actually die in 2016. That'd be a really weird audio bite.
Are you
Hopefully you get
worried?
to play Dark Souls before.
Yeah, I
you
think
die.
so.
Are you worried about the formula running a little bit dry for you?
No, because it seems like it's sped up in a way that like I'm excited for, just the speed of combat, and like it seems like he's just getting weirder with the world. Like you see that encounter where it's almost like a Las Plagas type thing. You're just fighting a normal enemy, and like crazy goo monster comes out of its head and turns into a weird giant black goo dragon. And I don't know, it seems bizarre, and it's running a next gen hardware, so you get to see like that vision of Dark Souls, which is like this beautiful dark fantasy with this rich like. These rich tapestries that they build of their worlds, but realized with better technology.
Awesome. Are you guys going to play that? Reiner, you're secretly
yeah.
a Dark Souls and Bloodborne fan, but I feel like you
Yeah,
never really talk about it.
I play with a friend. So it's like we trade off deaths and it's like a game. I mean, every year the new one comes out, we play it together and it takes like 3 months to finish it.
Holy cow.
But
okay.
it's super fun. And I've said this before, like I recommend playing it that
It is
way.
good. I have a friend who he was playing. My friend Dave was playing Bloodborne on last episode. Our former intern Marcus Stewart played it on his PS4. And then I asked Dave, I'm like, hey, did you get your save file of Bloodborne off of PS4? He's like, oh, no, I got to get him to email it to me, right? Marcus sold his PS4 because he's getting a new PS4.
What?
Wait.
Yeah, so Dave...
Wait. So he lost all of his
Dave
save
has
data,
lost
too.
his save data twice for Bloodborne. So now the reason I brought it up is because I'm going to do the trade the controller thing so it doesn't sting as
Good.
much.
Yeah.
Get
No, it's
back.
super fun.
Yeah.
And you just see different things that you don't see normally when you play the game. Like I list all the games I complete in a year, and I think for Dark Souls 2, I kind of put in a note like, I don't know if I should include this one because I completed it with a friend, but we traded off deaths. We probably completed about half the game, playing it ourselves. But, totally recommend it. It's super cool.
I look forward to playing 2 hours of Dark Souls 3 and then being like, at some point I'm going to get back to this, and then it never
Sounds
happens.
good.
Play it again.
Make sure you bring that copy back to the office.
Oh, okay, great. Hey, Kyle, what's next for you?
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, Reiner.
Can't skip Reiner.
This guy. The Legend of Zelda for Wii U.
What do you think the name's going to be?
Let's see. They did Sky, Water, Firewalker.
Firewalk
with me.
Yeah. The Legend of Zelda, Firewalker.
I don't have Zelda on my list because I don't believe it's going to come out in 2016.
They say it is.
Yeah.
That's not a good reason
have
to
a lot
put
of
it, not
faith.
put it on your list. Like, isn't it about excitement that it would come out that year?
I guess
and why?
I have so little faith in it coming out this year that I just don't even consider it coming out in 2016.
It's like a
But
friend
I
that gets invited to a party and like they say yes on Facebook, but you're like, nah, no, you're not going to be there.
I'll be waiting at the door,
Yeah,
buddy. Yeah,
right.
right.
I'll hold
But
my
I
breath.
am very excited for Zelda. I love Zelda, but I just
It's not your pick. It's my pick.
Would it have been your number one if not for you just not trusting anything Nintendo says anymore?
probably. I think so.
Wow.
That's a weird. I don't know. It's a weird question.
Is
but-
it the specifics or it's just the concept of New Zelda? Here's my question. If all they would have said is new Zelda coming to Wii U in 2016. Would you guys be equally excited, or is
No.
is something backing it up?
There's two things in particular for me. One, them talking about it being more of an open world adventure. I'm really curious how they're going to do that. Two, when they showed it at the Game Awards and he was standing up on the cliff looking out at the valley, and then someone realized like it's the exact same image of the original NES one from the manual or whatever, and you look out across that just that screenshot, or not screenshot, but illustration, you look out across that and then you sync it up with the image from the game, and it's exactly the same.
That's
I was
crazy.
Like, that's awesome.
Finally realizing the original vision.
Yeah,
type
the
thing.
full vision from way back when the first game is now realized in 3D. I can't wait to see that. So yeah, those are the two big reasons for me. And then yeah, it is a new Zelda, and they haven't failed me yet with these big core titles. You know, the smaller stuff's been hit or miss for sure, especially on handheld, but the console ones, man, so good.
You guys want to put any money down on whether or not it goes to NX as well?
I would. They've done it with a previous Zelda.
So you would
And-
bet that it's going to be split gen?
And Kyle talked about the lack of trust. It's like Nintendo walks back announcements from time to time. You know, it would make sense to sell a next gen Zelda game on your new system.
Do you think it's coming to Wii U then?
Yeah,
Like,
well, they
I
keep
think
saying
I think it's probably both.
It will. I mean, they will keep that promise, but I think it's going to NX first, then maybe a week or two later. What was
Really?
it? Do you remember the gap between Wii and GameCube? It was like a week or 2 weeks, maybe in a month between it coming out on Wii and GameCube. But it was
I don't
pretty
remember.
close.
Wait, GameCube came out second?
Yeah.
God, I don't remember that at all.
What if-
a weird
I mean,
thing.
you want to get somebody
Yeah.
to buy a Wii.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if their whole thing is just the naming conventions is they keep saying it's the Legend of Zelda on Wii U? What if that's the official name and they just launch it
spell
on
it
NX?
differently.
It was the Smash name. Kyle, what do you got, man?
I have a weird one that I think Reiner's going to give me another face about. I have Gravity Rush 2 as number 3.
Is it a typo code?
No, that's not a typo. So if you think back,
Kyle, did you look at the list of games coming out?
I
next year?
did. I really,
I can get someone else to sit here.
It'd be nice. You know what? Yeah.
At his
Kyle.
desk.
I really loved Gravity Rush on Vita.
Okay.
I adore that game, but it has its problems. I think the thing that game does really well is just the core mechanic
Right.
of like flying. Like
Yeah.
it's this weird way of flying where it merges like sort of the idea of falling as well as flying, and I love that feeling. And I kind of look at something like the original Assassin's Creed leaping to Assassin's Creed 2, where Assassin's Creed 1 had all these really cool climbing mechanics in place and like, you know, leaping from high heights and stuff like that. Like all that was really good, but the game kind of got repetitive and boring. And then for 2, there's like, all right, we've got that climbing mechanic. That's down. Let's like put that into something really interesting. And I have that optimism for Gravity Rush 2 because I love that flying mechanic so much. I want to see it injected into something like more interesting overall.
It's a cool choice, I think. You know,
Thank you, Tim.
I'm excited. I liked Gravity Rush. I don't know if you guys played it, but
No.
I played a little.
it was one of the original reasons to own a Vita, and it says something about the Vita. But but
yes, sir.
But I think that it's cool. There's cool stuff in there, and given
I love the
on
way
a-
it looks too. I like the art direction.
the art direction is really cool. If they can flesh it out with more stuff to do in that game, because that game got repetitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Interesting choice. Speaking of Firewalker, the new Legend of Zelda, as everybody knows the name is. Number 3 for me is Firewatch from
Okay.
Campo Santo.
Yeah,
Firewatch
okay.
That's cool.
We had Sean Vanneman on the podcast a couple weeks ago. He was
And
talking
he
a little bit
paid
about it.
you to make this your number.
Correctamundo. No, I'm really excited. It's one of those that I keep forgetting about. Then I see another screenshot, and just that art style looks so great. And just to have like a focused narrative adventure set in the outdoors with an incredibly unique setting in Wyoming in 1989. I'm really intrigued to see what that studio debuts.
This is a similar question for like Dishonored, but have we seen extensive gameplay on this, or has it just been trailers? You have, okay.
No, yeah, they've shown it. They gave a demo at PSX, and then they've also shown some previous footage earlier. But everything I've seen looks really, really exciting.
Yeah, I've seen the trailers and all the stuff they do with the hands and climbing and all that looks great.
Yeah, if you like looking down at your hands in first-person games, you're gonna love Firewatch.
I'm looking forward to that one too. If anything, just for the actor that plays Harry Crane,
I wanna play it.
being the protagonist. Like I think he's so great.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. What do you got next for number 2?
Number 2. All right, guys, you ready for this? Ring, 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 ring.
No Man's Sky.
Batman, Telltale.
Mood.
Yes. Virtual reality.
Mood.
No, it's Doom. I want to play Doom.
Put that in the mirror. Mood.
That's true. Backwards. It's call back to or call forward. I'm
Super
not sure.
replay. Yeah.
I think it's a call
There you go.
present. But anyway, I am like a tremendous Doom fan. Like Doom was like one of my first PC games that I just like really dove into in a really like ridiculous obsessive way. And I love Doom 3. I've loved everything that franchise has put down, and played the hell out of them. And the fact that they're kind of bringing it back to the roots, even though I love Doom 3, is fantastic. It's not about taking cover. It's not about lining up precise shots all the time. It's just about like running, gunning, and just beating the crap out of these demons.
Biggest fears. Name a way you could be disappointed in Doom.
If the glory kills breaks up the pace of like just like kill one and done, like move on. Like you are running through an imp as like you have a shotgun and you're running like a super shotgun, like double barreled. You're running up to an imp. You shoot it and it explodes into bits as you're walking through it, just as if it's just like you're done. I'm through you on to the next one. Like that feeling. If I have to do even like. If those glory kills disrupt the rhythm of just kind of like just mowing through demons,
sure.
that would be frustrating. But I also haven't played it, so I don't know how the pace of that feels.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've seen it 3 times. I saw it at 2 QuakeCons and E3, and played the multiplayer, and that again embraces that fluidity and just never stop moving kind of sensation. And they do have the glory kills in there. They feel great. I mean, when you can pull them off, especially multiplayer, it's a little harder to be able to pull those off. Like get a guy lined up and stun them, and then
pretty fast though. You don't feel you don't feel locked in too long.
No, it's really. I would say it's like 3 seconds.
All right.
But what I've seen of single player, at QuakeCons, it just looks frantic and crazy, and those weapons look super powerful. And anyone that's played Doom, the super shotgun. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's just fantastic weapon.
One of the best weapons in video games, and it looks like they're doing it again with this one. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of it.
Yeah,
great, interesting choice. Reiner, number 2.
Number 2 is, I'm gonna guess this is on someone else's list. We'll see. Uncharted 4. No,
I'm excited for it.
Seriously,
yeah. Kyle?
guys?
Because
anybody?
I just like.
No,
I like a good story, Reiner.
Wow, guys.
I will
Not
say,
doing it for me.
the first couple times it was shown, I was kind of like, okay, new Uncharted, that's cool. But like the PSX one, where we kind of got to see a little more like cutscene and just sort of more slowed down dialogue, actually got me more excited than seeing like the action and stuff like that. Like just that sort of Last of Us quality of dialogue and performance is what I'm more excited about than like the shooting and climbing.
Yeah.
part
So
of it.
Naughty Dog, some of the best storytellers in the industry, hands down the best tech expertise in the industry, and making platform exclusive games. Like their games are just stunning, and you see things you don't see in other games. Any developer you talk to just raves about these guys, and I like the setup. I like him having the brother Sam there, and I want to see where that goes, that dynamic goes. And they say it's the last one, so
I'm excited.
there's going to
for
be some
that.
closure, right?
Yeah, I don't want to be the biggest
You're
hater.
excited for that? You're excited for it to be
I'm
the last
excited for
one?
the idea of having closure. I'm always excited when a studio can move on, especially for a
Right,
franchise
sure.
they've been working with
Especially
for God knows
Naughty
how
Dog.
long. I mean, 10 years.
I don't know. I think my disappointment in Rise of the Tomb Raiders story has me more excited to have
Yes.
that kind of action adventure told by more capable
Right.
storytellers.
I was so excited for this holiday season of having Uncharted versus Tomb Raider, but then it got delayed, and I was like,
Well, keep in mind, Tomb Raider is going to be coming out on PS4 probably in a similar window as
yeah.
Uncharted 4 on PS4, so you'll still get that rivalry.
But I mean, yeah, but man, that would have been so great. Xbox One versus PS4. It
would have been
2 big juggernauts.
It would have been weird because I could have seen the reality forming that like, oh, Tomb Raider's gameplay is really good, but the story's like, and then just sort of like this inverse thing, like where the gameplay in Uncharted has never been the point for me.
Right. But they both have the grapple. I don't know.
Right.
It just lined up perfectly, and then Naughty Dog delayed their game. What's up, guys?
I guess I should be more excited about it. Like, I'm not the biggest Uncharted fan in the world, but I should be excited about just an idea of a talented studio like that. Like, it is. I know it's not technically, but basically their debut on next gen. And
Yeah,
just
it's gonna
seeing
be a
what
showpiece.
that team can learn with it. I
Yep.
mean, they work closely with Mark Cerny and like the actual hardware and the architecture of the PS4. Like, those guys are going to knock it out of the park.
It's like playing The Order. Like, the game was okay, but man, it was gorgeous.
Still-
just system exclusives always look so good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great choice, Reiner. The best
Thanks.
choice I've ever heard in my life. Kyle, where are you at, man?
My number 2 is Last Guardian.
Did you mean last typo? Is that a typo?
No, it's not a typo.
Okay.
No, good choice, Kyle.
Great choice.
I like that one.
Guys, I know how to write and type things. Okay,
Really?
most of these were copy pasted from a list. I did not actually type them out.
I still love the moment in 2010, back when I started here, when you have to submit your top 10 games of the year, and I wrote down that VVV game, where it's like 6 Vs.
Yeah.
Because I really like that game a lot. It's like my number 7 or something. And then Kato walked back into the back bullpen where I work, and he looks at it and he goes, did you mean to write Civ 5? It's like, no, I'm not a complete idiot. Thank you, new coworker. But my number 2 is appropriately XCOM 2. I am incredibly excited to just share stories around the office again of our crazy adventures, losing everyone that we love. The setting, I'm not crazy about. I like we talked to Jake Solomon a couple weeks ago on this.
Reversal, right?
Yeah, which should be exciting just to be like the scrappy resistance. But I like the tension and kind of the exploration and kind of the mystery in the first one to some extent. I know it's a crazy thing to get into for XCOM, but the footage they've shown, it's a lot of like fighting in the cities and like taking back these alien hybrid human cities and like fighting human soldiers. Even
it's more
seem
aliens
exciting.
versus alien, right? Where it's like it's a known quantity at this point, and you're surrounded. It's not like I'm walking into this like collapsed barn and like, oh my god, what new alien race is going to attack me?
Right, and the fact that it's imagine aliens, but then also if there are humans that you're fighting in aliens as well. So, but still had to have some more of that gameplay back and from Firaxis. I'm super, super excited about it. Although, I wish I could play with a controller.
Yeah. Do you name your characters after people you know? Or
Yeah,
what do you do
I do.
there?
I go like friends. I had a scientist round. I had a Pokemon round, which was really fun to like customize the colors of all the armor and
How
stuff.
do you feel like when Squirtle dies?
It's devastating. I know Squirrel's your favorite.
That can't have like that much impact.
How dare you? Well, you're still connected with them. It just doesn't matter if they're Squirrel or named it Grandma. Like it's all the same.
I don't know if it's like Tim Turi, your co-host.
You guys always name mine after
smart.
Family Guy and South Park characters. Kenny never dies, oh man.
Anyways, damn, number 2 or number 1, right?
Number 1, let's go to that. In the same setup as it's Zelda. I am excited for a new Zelda game, and Skyward Sword was not my favorite of the bunch.
That was the weakest of all their console ones. I would agree. Yeah.
I think just like even coming back off of that, like which is like still a really good game, but coming maybe hopefully up on an upswing from that.
Looking
obviously
forward to
less motion.
pressing a button
Correct.
to swing your sword. Yeah.
So I'm on board with that too, Kyle.
What a novel
Zelda.
idea. Great choice.
Yeah.
Love it. Gotta have it. Reiner, number 1, baby.
This is going to be your guys' number 1 as well.
Is it Zelda?
No Man's Sky.
Oh, No
Interesting.
Man's Sky.
I did it, right?
No, right? Kyle's done.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm excited for that, but it's just my excitement died down over time.
I recognize that game is a technical marvel, but I look at that game and I know it's not going to appeal to me because like every time they show new footage of it, it's all random. And there's like no, it almost like
It's all new.
It almost lacks personality to me for that reason
What?
because
it's like a two-headed brontosaurus.
it's just like I don't know if they've just given us too much of behind the scenes. Like I see the matrix of it and I'm like it's just random. There's no one sitting there designing this world for me. It's just a number generating this sort of, and it's like
I'm more excited than Kyle.
Yeah.
I want to make that.
But it's like
clear.
the same reason I don't really get into Minecraft. Like it just doesn't look like. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of excitement out of finding a new planet.
Part of it is, and this, I think, Kyle, this kind of loops into that thing that you wrote us something about how you actually like to be guided on an adventure.
I do, yeah.
You know, and so you like the tailored, crafted thing put in front of you, like, hey, this is something that we decide is good and worth your time. Do it. Whereas, like, I think I tend to lean that way, but like the majesty of coming around to like over a mountain in Minecraft and seeing like, oh my god, that looks cool over there, and like that's like just an island over there. Like the factor, like the idea of getting that in a little bit more, well, I mean, aesthetically
Galactic
different.
Scope.
Yeah, Galactic Scope is the right way to put it.
I do love like science fiction, so I will play it, but as far as like getting excited about it, I'm very like we'll see when I get it in my hands. I'll see how I feel about it.
It's my number 6, if that makes you feel any better.
Okay.
Reiner.
Yeah, that's about me too.
For me, just that scope of being so far out on the cosmos and you got to get to like the center of the universe, just that journey sounds so cool. And then being able to like put your fingerprint on new planets that you discover and name things and go through and take pictures and catalog it all. I like that. I think that just sounds fun. It sounds like when I see combat in it, I'm almost disappointed. I'm glad it's there,
Totally.
but I just want that moment of just like, whoa, what is that? And just take the perfect picture of it, catalog it, talk to my friends about it, show them. Hopefully we can share that kind of stuff. Maybe stumble upon some stuff that
I can
maybe
show you like
made.
I can like get like a random number generator and just show you different numbers.
Here's the
and be
thing,
like, hey, look
Reiner,
at this one.
I'm going to say
This
like,
guy,
you know, it's
right
like
here.
it's like when
I'm
you
just being
see
negative now. I'm just
when
being
you see
devil's
Star
advocate.
Wars for a second and you're like, God, these little glimpses of Tatooine, like these are really cool. What if I just walked in one direction for a super long time, saw what was there, but then also just hopped in a spaceship and went to a completely different planet and just explored and saw these bizarre sights.
Yeah, a good example is just like I got the Star Wars Visual Dictionary today, and I was sitting with Matt Miller today, just going through it, and we were just geeking out, looking at the different aliens and just like studying them and stuff. And I think
Tickling
there's
each
that
other.
element that came later, yeah. But that element, I don't know. I just like that whole discovery thing, and we don't see that a lot in games. And I think, games like Pokemon Snap, maybe not the best game, but there was that element of I did this and triggered this to make that thing come out, and then you capture that moment. And I think you're going to be capturing a lot of those moments in, like new species and stuff like that. I don't know. Sounds awesome.
I'm incredibly curious about it. Probably the game that I'm most curious to see what the reaction is going to be when it comes out. I'm really wondering how long it's going to take for that sense of wonder to wear off. I think it is when you pop it in, it's going to be like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. This is great.
Sure.
And then like, is it going to last 5 hours of wonder? And is it going to keep being enticing, or are you going to kind of get numb to the chaos of it?
Kato wrote that feature about the love affair, like the sort of honeymoon period with Fallout, where it's like the sense of possibility, and then as you start to understand the game's systems and what the limitations are, it can kind of bring down the honeymoon period a little bit. And yeah, I'm curious to see when that kicks in for people, and if for some people it kicks in at all.
Yeah, definitely. Kyle, numero uno?
So I have a weird number one that you guys are
Really?
upset with me about. But when I was looking at the list, when we think about these games of like, what are we looking forward to? I always think of like, what if I could have this list of games, like what game, and if I could pick one to have like immediately in front of me right now.
Right.
I actually ended up going with The Witness, which is one that I've been excited
Wow.
about for a really long time. And I feel like I've seen just enough of that game where it's like, what the hell is going on with that island? Like, I haven't done any hands-on previews or anything, so I don't even really quite understand how it plays. But it just kind of like makes me think of my time with Myst.
It sounds like Jonathan Blow made a Myst game.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing.
And it just, that island looks really interesting, and I don't know. It's one that I'm really excited about. That I always kind of, in a weird way, like I forget about it, but then I see it on a list. I'm like, oh yeah, I really really want to play that. Because I have a lot of love for Braid as well.
Yeah,
So
I love Jonathan Blow and Braid and just kind of making new mind-bending experiences. But whenever I see the footage of that game, I'm like, is this just a puzzle game?
I mean, it's tricky. Like, if you think of the potential of that moment where in Braid you took the puzzle piece and set it up so it extended a platform outside of the puzzle, and you were able to jump off of it. That sort of like quasi fourth wall breaking thing, and able to do it in more 3D space. Like, I don't know, the possibilities really increase.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Jeff Cork played a lot of it for a preview, and he told me the secret of the island, Kyle, if you want me to.
Oh, yeah.
What's the number?
I don't want to get into it.
there
For
a smoke
this
monster?
podcast. There remind me of Smoke Monster.
Ben, what is your number one?
My number one, I am stunned. Nobody else had it on their list. Genuinely stunned. It's also falling into the Zelda camp because I would put money on it being delayed. But right now, it's ever 2016. Mass Effect Andromeda, everybody. Next Mass Effect's coming out in 2016.
That's great. It's just
What's that?
yeah. That's the tricky thing. Is it's
a phone game?
easy to forget about because we don't even know what it is. We don't even know if it's a. They said third person shooter type game. Third
We don't
person.
know
I
yet.
mean, there's no way they'd
It's
shake
got to be
I-
an RPG,
yeah,
right? It's a
I
visual
don't think
novel.
so either.
What are you
But
doing? What are you talking about, Tim? What's the matter with you?
I know so little about this game. I love Mass Effect. Okay,
Yeah.
but I know so little about this game.
The reason I didn't pick it is I have a lot of question marks because of Casey Hudson leaving and that kind of whole breakup right there. And I'm wondering what's going on and all
new
these delays
studio.
and just showing new footage that's not really footage. I'm just curious where that game's
And
at.
you might be able to draw a parallel between like, oh, kind of weird development and Last Guardian, but at least we've seen Last Guardian in action. We know what that game is. It's just a different. I think the promise of Mass Effect makes it a good number one. It's just
Good one. It's a great one.
easy one to forget that's floating out there.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm with you that it's suspicious. We haven't seen too much of it. I understand EA has a lot on their plate. The idea of it being a new studio, new creative director, a lot of question marks out there. A new galaxy, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Like, there's so many different elements. I hope.
It's going to be a black sky with stars. I'm
Yeah.
just going to
Nice.
spoil it for people.
Nodes.
I hope it's ambitious.
Me too.
I hope it charts a new path. I hope it's the Force Awakens. I hope it's not just all like, hey, it's kind of like the old adventures again. What are you gonna do?
Follow or
episode
Halo,
one.
not Halo 4, basically. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
safe.
Right.
Force Awakens is safe.
There are
sometimes, too.
regarding that well, I guess I was going to say regarding that comparison, there are a lot of more people who were worked on Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 who are working on Andromeda, but I guess you could say the same for Halo 4
Right,
because a lot of
right.
those people came over. So
And it's a little hypocritical of me to say Dishonored 2. Haven't really seen that yet. And you kind of get the same thing from Mass Effect where it's just like you see the N7 armor, maybe some civilizations you're
there are
going to go to.
spaceships.
Yeah, one spaceship
confirmed.
we've seen now, but I don't know. I just have so many questions, and I want to see something real before I'm like, okay. Whereas like Dishonored, I think I know it's the same team, same setup. Like I get it,
Totally.
but this one I'm worried,
Yeah.
nervous and excited and worried. Like,
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully they knock it out of the park.
Yeah, hopefully at E3 we see something more, if not before then. But then also, I mean, realize there's going to be a ton of games coming out in 2016 that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah.
I mean, our top 50 games of the year is going to be a boatload. I'm sure our personal top 10 is going to be so many completely out of the blue. That's the best part of what happened this year. So I'm hoping to repeat
Fallout
all
4
that.
was announced and released in the same year.
In 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the possibilities are whatever.
Some dumb car soccer game is one of my favorite games of the year. How the hell did that happen?
But
Yeah.
you know what? Like, I
Until
thought
Dawn.
that was a really fun way to end the year of 2015, and sort of like I'm way more excited about this sort of in between zone that we're in, where it's like kind of playing what you want, catch up, or play something you're nostalgic on, and then. But now I'm more forward looking than I think I was before we recorded this, which is cool.
good.
And even though we didn't do an email segment, like if our conversation here has sparked some question or concern or comment or whatever, and you want to email us for the next episode, we could talk about it. It's podcast@GameInformer.com.
Absolutely. And we do want to take this opportunity, since we're at the end of the year and it's our first year kind of rebooting the podcast to some effect, to thank everybody for listening or watching on
Yeah.
YouTube now.
Yes.
Got a couple nice emails last week about people that say they prefer watching the YouTube version now instead of listening to the audio.
That is awesome.
We put a lot of effort into it, so thanks for checking that out. Hopefully there's some fun Easter eggs in there and whatnot if you're really interested in that type of thing. But thank you so much for sticking with us.
Yes.
We would love your feedback on the first year of the podcast.
Positively.
Send emails in, podcastgameinformer.com for what you want to see in the future, segments you want to repeat, new segments, old favorites, shorter, longer, that whole debate. Let's get it going at Podcast Game Informer. Also, we're pleading with you, or politely asking, tell a friend if you like this podcast.
And tell that friend, if they like the podcast, to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes.
That's all well and good. I agree with the rating, but think about this. Think about this mind-blowing thing. If you do like the podcast, if you're listening to it, I'd imagine you don't hate it. If you kind of enjoy it and you told one friend, like, hey, check this out, we could double our numbers in 1 week.
It's true.
It'd be amazing.
That's how I got turned on to countless podcasts.
Yeah. So if you like it, tell a friend. We would really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then force your friend to write an email to us explaining the situation and how they sat you down and told you to listen to this strange podcast. Anyways, that's it for Game Informer for the year, everybody.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
We're
Another
done.
great year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for sticking with us and for the support.
Absolutely. And we look forward to a fun, adventurous 2016 along with you guys. So
2016.
let's do it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. See you next time. Bye.